Good morning. Good morning. It's Friday morning. I'm headed to work. I'm running later than normal. Although it's Friday, so Friday's traffic is usually a lot lighter. For some reason, I don't know, but it's working. It's going to work in my favor this morning. And then I also have to pick up bagels for my for one of our bosses in the office. So that might put me a couple minutes behind as well. Anyway, this is a follow-up video to a video I just did yesterday. Now, I'm not sure when that video will post because, I'm not sure how that video, when that video is going to post, because something weird happened when I went to post it, and then I realized another video, there may be a video in between this one and that one. Anyway, the subject of that video was called I'm Confused. I'm confused. And it talked all about my weight loss and the confusion I'm having with my body, like kind of restructuring itself. So, okay. So after I did that video last night, I did some research online. And you know, I'm the type of person, I'm very much a self-diagnosis person. You know, not to say I don't go to the doctor, but like I do my own research first. And so when the doctor starts telling me something crazy, you know, I just don't trust those doctors. I don't trust them. Because, you know, they either want to operate or they want to prescribe a pill to put you on for the rest of your life. One or the other. And I'm not with either one of those. So I'm just real cautious. I've just had a couple situations over the years that, you know. But anyway, so yeah, I did research on the whole varicose veins and you know, why people get it, and you know, and I looked into a couple fairly reputable people that I watch here on YouTube. Of course, YouTube is my source of information, you know. And when they said this, I was like, that's me. And there could be other factors, but one factor in why someone would have varicose veins or spider veins, and again, I'm still not clear on which one I have, or I believe I have both, but it comes from being sanitary, you know, meaning not a lot of movement. Unfortunately, that's been me in the last, you know, several months. Somebody's texting me. Was this George someone? That's weird. I can't even see the name. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, someone's sanitary. And so for me, like during the winter months, that's definitely me. I basically get up, I go, you know, get dressed in the morning, go to my car, get in my car, drive to work, get out of my car, go from my parking deck at work to my office, and I sit down all day long, except for bathroom breaks and lunch. And even at lunch, sometimes I will, again, in the winter months, I will go in our break room, I will edit a YouTube video, I will call my girlfriend, talk to her on the phone, you know, but I'm not moving. And the summer months, the summer, spring months, that's usually, it's a little different. I will take a walk on my lunch break. You know, we have like right near my job, there's a main street, and there's a lot of, little shops and little whatever, places. So I'll just go walking down the street. Like, it's a good, I don't know. I don't walk super fast, so it could take me 20 minutes round trip if I go straight there and go straight back. If I stop somewhere and stop in a store or something, and there's a supermarket on the other end of the walk, basically. So I'll usually go to the supermarket and grab an item or two, because I'm walking back, so I can't get too much. Who is this person? George. Not George. I don't know this person. But they're texting me, not this is a text on my Apple Watch. Anyway. Yeah. So I don't, and now that the weather has, it is spring. I can't tell. I have started walking, after during my lunch hour. This past week, I haven't walked. I just haven't walked. Last week I did, last week we went away. Before we went away on my business trip, I did walk pretty much every day, I think, that I was in the office, because I'm remote on Wednesday. So the most I would be walking at work would be 4 days a week. And then I have my walking pad at home. Now, last night, and I live in I've mentioned several times that I live in a 55 plus community. So I'm always trying to be conscious of my neighbors. I really do. Even though I have a neighbor that she ain't conscious of me at all. But, this is the third message from the same person. It's not George. I don't know, Grego or something. Anyway, yeah. So I try to be conscious of them. So I don't want to be on the walking pad, and I'm sure the person can hear me is the lady underneath me, and we've talked about it. I told her I had a walking pad, and she's cool with it. She's fine. She's an older, woman. She's like in her 80s, but she's perfectly fine. But I still, in the back of my head, oh, excuse me, I don't want to be on it. Like, to me, like, the cutoff is like 8 o'clock. The problem with that is I don't usually get home until 6, between 6 and 7. So, I get home, change my clothes, usually want to have something to eat. And so by the time I do all of that, it will be 8 o'clock or later. And so then I'm like, nah, I don't want to disturb her. But you know what? I'm going to have to disturb her. And, I think our like, we just got an email recently from our rental office saying, just remember, guys, be mindful of your neighbors, like things like washing clothes and, like, don't do any of that after 10 o'clock p.m. And I'm like, oh, 8 o'clock, I'm good, So with, when they said that, I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not going, like, I'm not going to be on my walking pad up to 10 o'clock at night. That's for sure. That's, to me, that's just, personally, that's just too late. But it did give me a little more flexibility that I didn't have to, like, cut it off at 8 o'clock. I could, if I was on it at 8 o'clock, I could keep going until, 8:15 or something like that, 8:30. Okay, so last night when I did all this little research and found out that I've been too stationary, and that's why I'm starting to get these varicose veins and spider veins and all, I got on my walking pad. Because I was like, first of all, I paid my good hard-earned money for this thing, and I'm not even using it. And, like a lot of people, not a lot, actually, a few people in my complex or my apartment, they, I'll see them walking in the community, in the neighborhood. And that's cool, and it's good to get outside, get some vitamin D. But I'm like, if I don't do that, I can still walk in my apartment. So, yeah, I walked last night and I was like, I gotta stop playing. I gotta really, And so the other thing too is at work, I used to do this all the time, and it was a stupid reason why I stopped. But I used to take these, like, and it would literally take me, I think it would take me 5 minutes to do this. But every, like, so often, like, let's say at 10 o'clock, at 10, like maybe 3 times a day at work, I would get up from my desk and I would walk. My building is only four stories, so it's not, like, it's not a lot you can do with that, and it's not a huge building. But I would get up from my desk and I would go to the next floor, which I'm on the 2nd floor, so I would go to I would take the stairs to the 3rd floor. I would walk through the entire length of the 3rd floor, and then I would walk up to the 4th floor, walk the entire length of the 4th floor. Then I would walk back down to the 2nd floor. I would walk the entire length of the 2nd floor, and then I would walk down to the 1st floor, walk the entire length of the 1st floor, and then I would walk back up the stairs to my floor, the 2nd floor. And I will be done. And like I said, it wouldn't take me long. It would take me 5 minutes to do that. But it got me out from being mobile, did I say? No, it got me from being stationary. And it made me more mobile. And it just, I'm walking upstairs as well as, so it, it was a 5-minute exercise, but I felt the difference. And this is the stupid reason that I stopped. And you know how when you have a habit and you stop it, it's so hard to start the habit again. I stopped it because on the 1st floor is our security guard in our building. And so every time I would walk by the security guard, and we're cool, we're very cool. And he's like, I don't know if he's a fitness trainer, but he has a nice physique, and he looks like he definitely goes to the gym. Definitely. He know his way around the gym. So whenever I would walk by his little station or whatever on the 1st floor, he would comment. I would say, hey, how you doing? And he would comment and he would say, hey, I see you getting your steps in. And I'll be like, yeah, and it was almost like it was like, I I just want to be able to do this and not cause any attention, you know, draw any attention to myself, you know, because then I don't want anybody expecting this from, you know, I don't know. It was weird, but I just stopped doing it because I was like, I don't want him saying nothing today. You know, that was stupid. That was the stupidest reason in the world for me to stop, but I did. And so now I haven't done that in ages, but I need to get back to that because it was a great way, especially if it was raining or something outside, or in the winter months. It was a great way to keep myself mobile. Oh yeah, traffic is great. Traffic is great out here. I don't know what people take off on Friday. Because this road where I'm at right now, the traffic is crazy in the mornings. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna get back to doing that because that was just a great way to stay mobile during the day, get a little exercise in. And it was just, if I did it 3 times a day, it was 15 minutes a day. And I could feel the difference. And you know, the biggest thing I felt was, like when I first started doing it, climbing those steps, it was like, you know, a little struggle. I was out of breath, you know. But by the time I don't know, maybe into the first week or something, I was completely, like, I had no problem. You know what I mean? Like, I was able to climb the steps with no problem at all. So, yeah. So that was great. I mean, what am I talking about? That was great. It was great when I did it, but I'm gonna get back to doing it because it was a great way to get a little exercise in during my work day, and had nothing to do with what I was doing after work, outside of that, or even on my lunch break, you know. So yeah, these are just some things I'm just talking out loud as far as changes I'm gonna make, because I definitely know these varicose veins or spider veins, whatever they are not good. And even though they, you know, there's all kinds of, like, a lot of, when I Googled it, a lot of things that came up was how to remove them. Well, okay, that's great, but I want to prevent them, because obviously if your veins are being affected, you may have some type of, I don't know, issue. And then, you know, one guy talked about your heart, like how this could affect your heart, because it's blood from your heart that's, you know, circulating through your veins. So I was just like, yeah, no, I got to get this under control, totally under control. So I'm gonna definitely start moving more and walking more during the day and at night when I get home, and not care, because that's the problem. I care about other people more than I care about myself. That's what it comes down to. I'm caring about a security guard who, this guy's in top shape. I'm not, you know. And I'm caring about neighbors that, like, I know they don't go to bed at 8 o'clock, you know, every night. So I got to start caring about me and my health. Anyway, I just wanted to share that as a follow-up to the video I did yesterday. Don't forget to like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. God bless. Take care.